Okay, we're back for episode number 7 and we're going to Spa. Now let's see what our car performance is like. In terms of aero, we are currently the 4th team and our chassis is the 4th best of the grid as well. And look at our engine. We have by far the best engine performance. So I'm guessing we should be flying around the Camel Straight at Spa. Okay, we've got an MG UK that's over 50% worn, so I'm gonna switch to the second one. No penalty. And we'll have better engine performance again that way. Ooh, the main Grand Prix is gonna be wet. The quali and sprint is gonna be dry. That's gonna be interesting. Okay, let's see. In terms of car performance, we're still the 2nd team on the grid. But Mercedes and Aston Martin brought some upgrades. McLaren are basically just as quick as Ferrari now. Oh, there's 6 teams very close together. Let's see if we can stay ahead of most of them. Let's go to one-shot quali.
Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Norris, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Cookie, Maldonado, Magnussen, Bottas, Ocon, Gasly, Albon, Joe, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Sargent, Stroll, and Nick de Vries. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint. The formation lap gets underway ahead of today's sprint. It's going to be interesting to see who gets pole position.
1925 and 1973, when this title was an honorary award given each year to one Grand Prix circuit in Europe.
As all the cars take their positions on the grid, the final preparations have been made, and all that's left is for the drivers to deliver on track.
damage to the underbody, expect to feel significant effects in terms of performance. Tyre condition still looking good. Alright, let's focus now for the rest of the race. The underbody's incurred critical damage at this point. And you've got P7, 7th place. Norris just ahead, push for the position. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 1.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Alonso behind you now, they're on fresh softs. Our gap to first place is 3.8 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 4 laps remaining. Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Lando's ahead of you now, and gap to the car in front is 1.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Your last lap time was 1 minute 45.2. This is great stuff. We're gaining by 0.3 a lap. Good work. That's P7 now, P7, Lando ahead. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. That's Alonso behind, and the gap behind us is 1.7 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, so gap to the leader is 4.2 seconds. Look after these tyres now, we want to finish the race on this compound. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. The underbody showing heavy damage. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap. Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. So let's review the updated driver standings. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow where we'll be live with all the action. And until then, goodbye. Welcome to this visit to the Ardennes countryside. Spa-Francorchamps hosted its first Grand Prix back in 1925, and this historic track is loved by drivers and fans alike, and us here in the commentary box too. So it's a warm welcome from the Belgian Grand Prix. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Norris, Cookie, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Maldonado, Bottas, Magnussen, Gasly, Ocon, Albon, Sargent, Joe, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Stroll, and Nick de Vries. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Here we go then, the formation lap is underway. These are wet conditions here today. Each driver will no doubt be mindful of the wet surface as they prepare to race around the track. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. The question I'm asking is which teams have got it right, which ones have got it horribly wrong?
Start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you. At least 20 minutes of light rain. Inter seems to be the fastest tyre for now. Make use of the overtake button and see what you can do. Green flag. Okay, and that's a red flag. Red flag. Keep the delta positive, and let's have you straight to the pit lane, please. Okay, there's been an incident on track resulting in loose debris. Play this right, we can get a nice advantage here. Let's have a think about how we handle the rest of this race. Feels a bit like deja vu here, but it's a good opportunity to get this start spot on. Come on. Nice move, good job. Light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay. Currently in P3, Sainz ahead. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on a fresh set of inters. Verstappen behind you now. They're on a fresh set of inters. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Okay, 12 laps to go. Gap to your teammate behind is 3.7 seconds. Second place, it's Perez ahead of you. Less than a second separates you. They're on a fresh set of inters. That's Sainz behind you now. They're on a fresh set of inters. Look after these tyres now if you want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, we're into the last 10 laps now. Try to stay with them. They might make a mistake and we could still regain the position. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Okay, clear. Right, drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately. Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until we get the green flags. VSC ending, wait for the greens. There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful. Overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 7.3 seconds. They're on old intermediates. They're in 11th. Time last lap was a 2:07.0. place ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 2.7 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Their tyres are 5 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1:55.9. Okay, so you're gaining by 8 tenths. 8 tenths. Gap to your teammate behind is 8.4 seconds. Ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 1.8 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Their tyres are 6 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:57.0. Okay, so you're gaining by 8 tenths. 8 tenths. Verstappen's behind. Okay, the gap behind is 1.7 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Their tyres are 6 laps old. Time last lap was a 1:56.4. Okay, so that last lap was a 1:56.1. Just 5 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 12.0 seconds. They're on old intermediates. They're in 11th. And the time last lap was a 1:58.0. edging the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres. Okay, you're sat in P2, Perez ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 1.1 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Verstappen behind you now. Our gap behind is 1.3 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 4 laps remaining. Okay, we've got 4 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, so this light rain is going to be with us for a while now. Inters look like the best tyre for now. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon. Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps. And Verstappen's behind. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 1.4 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Their tyres are 9 laps old. The last lap time was a 1 minute 56.9. Gap to your teammate behind is 18.2 seconds. First position, front of the pack. Perez is behind you. They're on old intermediates. Your pit window is open. Pit window currently open. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Okay, this is your final lap of the race. Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 18.9 seconds. They're on old intermediates. They're in 10th place. Time last lap was a 1:57.8.
Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
It's a heroic effort for any driver to race in conditions like these, and seeing them fight their way to the front was very special indeed. They were able to find all the grip, all the good lines, and had the confidence to get on the power to top it all off. That's what pushed them into first place here today.
Well, what a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top 3 finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today. So let's review the drivers' standings. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
I have to give it to Cookie.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. And pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red Bull.
Seb is back. We got our first win. That also means that we now have to up the difficulty by 1. So we'll be doing the races on 98 AI. Okay, we're going to Zandvoort now, and quali is gonna be wet, but we'll have a dry race. Now let's see the car performance. Oh, we've been overtaken by Mercedes and Aston Martin in terms of car performance. So we dropped down and we're now the 4th team. So we're gonna have a more difficult time fighting for podiums and wins. Let's see how we'll do here at Zandvoort. Let's go to one-shot quali.
Welcome along then to the North Sea coast and to the Zandvoort circuit. We're 25 miles away from Amsterdam for today's Dutch Grand Prix. It's a race the great Jim Clark won on 4 occasions, leading for an astonishing total of 370 laps. A lap of this short 2.6 mile Zandvoort circuit features 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with a 678 metre main straight heading into turn 1, Tarzan Corner. And on that straight with DRS open, that'll be the best overtaking opportunity on this track. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Norris, Maldonado, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Ocon, Oscar Piastri, Magnussen, Albon, Bottas, Tsunoda, Sainz, Joe, Hulkenberg, Stroll, Cookie, De Vries and Logan Sargent. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, the regulations aren't new anymore, but the teams and the drivers are still coming to terms with them. I firmly believe it's also track specific. We've seen some wheel-to-wheel racing throughout the year. Some tracks lend themselves better to it than others. I'd like to see it at every race in the whole season. Is that too much to ask?
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out. Ready to start the race as the cars take their positions on the grid. The drivers and teams move to final preparation.
Okay, with monitoring somewhere on the internal combustion engine, be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power. Okay, the start was fine, let's try and move forward. Great manoeuvre, you made it look so easy. And you've got P15, P15. Okay, Sainz is ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. Sonoda behind. Okay, push, push. Gap to the car behind. 1.0 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Your pit window opens in 8 laps time. 24 laps to go. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Trailing our teammate by 4.8 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're currently 6th. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 11.9. Ahead, less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 3 laps old. We think they've got 1 more stop. The last lap time was a 1:12.9. We're gaining by around 0.2 per lap. Keep going. Okay, we're looking at some gearbox wear, so try to keep the number of shifts to a minimum, please. Gap to your teammate ahead is 5.4 seconds. Currently, the fastest lap is at 1 minute 11.3. We don't currently have the data for that request. time to the car behind. And you've got P13. Okay, Sainz is ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. Ocon behind. Okay, they're on old softs. The distance to the leader is 9.7 seconds. Your pit window is going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. 19 laps to go. We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Tyre conditions still looking good. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 1.8 seconds. Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 2.8 seconds. now, come on. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. Behind's just boxed the mediums. Car behind on the medium tyre now. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 2.7 seconds. Okay, that's Pastor in the pits. Pastor's in the pits. Top 10 now, keep it up. And gap to the car in front is 2.4 seconds. Okay, you're in ninth position. It's Perez ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 2.4 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Okay, Sainz is behind you. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, gap to leader, 0.4 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Okay, 12 laps to go. car in front is 3.8 seconds. Some information on Sargent. They're retiring from the race. Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead. Green flag. Passengers ahead of you. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 5.3 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Their tyres are 5 laps old. Time last lap was a 1:12.4. Come on, mate, you're down by 0.8 a lap. What have you got? Okay, we lost the position. Try to keep focus. You're running P9, keep going. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 7.2 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Gasly's behind you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Our gap to first place is 20.9 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. All right, 6 laps to go now. That's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left. We've lost one of the gears. The transmission is significantly damaged. We're down a gear, I'm afraid. Okay, bad news on the gearbox, I'm afraid. The team are trying everything they can think of, but they're not optimistic. Just keep at it, do your best, that's all we can ask. P10, you're currently in P10. That's Gasly ahead. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. That's Sainz behind you now. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Okay, so gap to the leader is 23.3 seconds. Look after these tyres now. You want to finish the race on this compound. 4 laps remaining. But be aware, these tyres need to go the distance. Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps. And that's us in 10th position. Gasly's ahead of you. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. Okay, Sainz is behind you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. The distance to the leader is 24.8 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. got 1 lap of fuel remaining. And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners. Let's have a quick look at how the drivers' standings have changed. The gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Natalie Pinkham, come on, who do you pick?
It's got to be Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he pulled off some impressive feats out there on track today, even by his high standards.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. No change in the top spot then, but with today's points, their hold on that lead is getting weaker. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.